right? I'm just kind of getting us set up here for a nice run today, and I think this is going to be a good conversation, I should say, as we discuss, this new Supergirl, right? And let me start by saying, I really like this character. I'm going to be right off the bat on this character, especially this kind of new interpretation of Kara Jor-El, right? So I'm really into it. I think this is a great character. I love the story because it kind of changed her in, from like just this, immature teen. Now her story is far more mythic. I think it rises to the level of something that we would get from this type of story. So I feel a lot better about it. I feel like Kara is going to give us an interpretation that it's much harder, right? I mean, like, it's much more raw, the version that she is versus what Kal-El is. And the fundamental difference is, and a lot of people never realize that obviously she's
beautiful
older
lady
than him.
Look, I took a picture.
She was born before him. She's actually older than he is, right? And the difference isn't just in the age, it's also in their perceptions, how they experience the world around them. And like the biggest thing is, how did they experience the end of Krypton? That's actually like a really, really significant motivator when we talk about the differences between these two cousins, between Kal-El and Kara Zor-El. Like, that's the major differences between them, is how they really remember Krypton. Kal obviously doesn't remember Krypton at all because he was a baby when they jettisoned him out to the world. But Kara, man, she's experienced a whole lot more because she saw the actual destruction of their home world. And that gives a lot, man. That's a lot. Like, imagine being a teenager and, like, you've lived. This is your home. You're used to this lifestyle. This is all that you know. And not only do you lose all that comfort, you lose your home. You lose your family. You lose everyone that was actually related to you. That's actually what happens with Kara Zor-El, right? That's what happens. She loses everything. So that totally changes her. But that's not really that's why I enjoy this character so much. I'm giving this preface because I'm going to make some criticisms of the character. Really not even criticisms, but I definitely want it to be known that I'm not anti to the character. I'm not mad because it's a woman character getting some shine. None of that bothers me, man. None of that takes away from Superman stories in any way. So I feel very comfortable just kind of spitting what I think about her. And obviously, everything that I'm going to say about her is also going to be related to Superman and Power Girl. All the Kryptonians are going to suffer from this. And so the conversation earlier, I think I was just checking out a meme. I don't even know what that meme is. I don't know if I capped it. I probably didn't because I kind of, it is what it is, right? Like, I saw it and I didn't really think much of it. Let me see if I made a copy of it. No, it doesn't look like I did, so it doesn't really matter. But the meme was expressing, like, how do you actually stop Superman? People trying to work on what his weaknesses are. So Kara, it's obviously going to translate a whole lot better. But essentially, these Kryptonians are they're very much powered by yellow sun radiation. This is the key. This is the most crucial point in understanding Superman's powers and Supergirl's powers is that they are powered by yellow sun radiation, and they store it as just raw energy. Okay, so this is the thing: you cut them off from the source, you drain their power resources, and she can fall. So they are essentially living solar batteries, and we can see this now when you talk about Superman and his connection to the sun. We know that yellow sun is what powers him. I think they have like a blue sun, which is, this is all DC Universe. There's a blue sun, which is said to give him even greater power. But then obviously, like, the red sun, we know will destroy him. Like, with the red sun, the radiation of a red sun is actually counter to what he wants. So there's a whole lot of avenues when you look at his power. So you have to understand what his power was. And then if we take Superman beyond, say, even the Marvel Universe, it gets a little dicier because what kind of stars do they have in Asgard? Like, if he's in Asgard, if the fight's in Asgard, if Thor gets home court, then what does it mean when, being under the Asgardian star? Is it the same? So Kara is basically solar input, right? You get yellow sun radiation, and you're able to store that energy in your body like a vast battery. Like there, I mean, remember, Superman did kind of fly into the sun once to absorb as much power as he could, and then his body's able to store this energy, and that's what makes him really dangerous, because the power output from all this is super strength. It's flight, it's incredible speed, it's heat vision, durability, and a whole host of things. So the key for Superman, now there's always kryptonite out there. We're very aware of kryptonite, but the thing with kryptonite is this is more their poison. So you can attack by giving him what's equivalent to their poison, but I think the better strategy would be attack his true weaknesses and is in his dependence on that solar battery, right? That sun. They'd be able to store that input. So I look at a couple of scenarios and I'm like, who is most likely to be able to take out Supes? So the first one is a team. I had to go to team up here that exploit his dependence on solar energy. And the strategy here is that you cut him off from that source, you're able to isolate him, and then you drain him. So the best team for that is Cloak and Parasite. And Cloak kind of isolates Supergirl in this dark force dimension. That's the whole thing. He's actually taking you into another dimension, and you're surrounded by dark force. There is no energy there for her to pull off of. No yellow energy. There's nothing. So she's not able to convert any energy there. No photons. There's not even a star there. You're surrounded by darkness. So you'll probably go crazy too. But because these Kryptonians are basically storage batteries for energy, they probably have a ton of energy stored up, right? That's the reality of what's going on with them. This is why I introduced Parasite. Now, this is a two-man team because Parasite can drain her stored energy supply rapidly. Like, he can reduce that energy supply down to nothing, like, in a very short period of time. We're talking probably, minutes overall. Maybe dozens of minutes, but definitely minutes overall. And those powers that she has will begin to fade. They'll fade rapidly if he's draining off of her. If she's just in the dimension by herself, she could still have a good run until her power runs out. But your power will run out because they've isolated you in this fashion. So that's kind of the key. I think that's one of the safest routes for taking down Supergirl or Superman is that you isolate them, you trap them in this inescapable darkness. You use a mutant or someone or a meta like like Parasite, who feeds off of your stored energy. Then you're able to weaken them. They get no recharge, and their powers eventually collapse. And then you can go and do whatever you got to do, whatever your plan was. So I think that's one of the most effective strategies. If I was going to come at a figure like Superman or Supergirl, who I intended to be the one talking about, I keep talking about him, is I would take that strategy. I think that's the easiest and smartest strategy for coming at someone who has their particular type of abilities. That will work for all Kryptonians because they all do require that source of energy. So if you deny them that source of energy, then you're working with something, right? So that's how we would attack it. That's my main theory. Now the second one, I think it's even easier, is just a reality manipulator, right? There's a few out there, and the best one obviously is the most powerful one out there is Wanda, right? Now we know Wanda crazy. We do know this about Wanda, but Wanda's also mad powerful, and Wanda has the ability to manipulate reality. She can change reality. She changes the rule. She can change the sun. She can change the environment. So there's a lot going on with Wanda, and this is why she works. This is why she works, because very quickly, Wanda could show up on the scene and simply say something like, this is a red sun environment. And bam, he's already in a place where he's being weakened. She can create a red sun. She can remove yellow sun energy. Thank you, but hey, what's up, Doom? What's up, Doom? Good to see you, homie. It has been a minute, man. But I took on some other work, so my schedule's been off for doing my live. So I'm trying to get them in as I can. But yeah, it's been a minute, man. I'm gonna be back more consistent once my schedule kind of stabilizes here. But back to this. So this is basically the scenario here. She's able to put him in an environment where she can either just generate a red star, right, herself, or she can just, literally put him in the presence of that. And that changes anything. She can combine things with him. So she doesn't need to overpower him, which she's not going to be able to do. All she wants to do is alter reality. She wants to remove the yellow sun so he can't recharge, and she wants to power him down. She wants to drain him down. So over time, her power is going to be able to diminish him. So that's where he's uniquely susceptible to someone who can change reality like that, because all she has to do is speak a word. Now, if he can get there, oh, thanks, Doomsayer. Appreciate the love, man. Definitely appreciate it. So with Wanda's ability, like we saw it, all she had to say is no more mutants, and they were all done. So does he have the ability to react to that before that happens? Potentially. But if he's unaware, she catches him unaware, and she can speak that spell, like she can wrap that up pretty quickly. So that's where I think, again, isolating him from his power source is the key thing. Get him in a red sun environment, or an environment where he has complete darkness around him, not able to draw on that energy. That's going to be key for both Cal and both Kara, right? So all the Kryptonians are going to be susceptible to that. The other form of attack is a straight up mind attack. Oh, thanks, man. I definitely appreciate it. I've been wanting to get back to my content, man. I love doing this kind of content, so I'm glad you guys are feeling it. Thank you. The other part is, of course, the telepath. Now, I brought up a couple examples, and I'm sure you guys have a bunch of others. Powerful telepaths, where you attack the mind, not the body, right? You go away from his greatest strength, which is his invulnerability, and you go after his mind. Now, granted, Superman Supes Cal has training for mind resistance. I don't know if Kara has that, and I don't think that she does. But even with Kal-El's, mental training and strong willpower, I don't know that even he can resist the mind of a truly powerful telepath like Professor X or like Cassandra Nova. These guys are at the apex. They're at the height of it, right? So that's where they are. So this is where they can take on like mind control. They can shut his mind down. They can control his mind. And, basically of any Kryptonian. So they're all valid. So you establish a link, you connect to Supergirl's mind, you take control, you can override, manipulate, or paralyze her will. And then she becomes vulnerable regardless of that power, right? Once you can get her disabled and drained down. So I think you got a couple of strategies, but they all reveal, like I said, none of it revolves around Kryptonite in this one, right? What we're looking at is manipulating that solar energy, cutting him off from that source, changing the physical rules around him, like changing her head. Cloak is like the main one because Cloak can block access to energy. So he's crucial in this plan. Parasite, because Parasite can, oh man, my favorite character. All right, let me give you guys a list of my favorite characters right now, okay? My favorite characters, the Surfer is one of my favorite characters. The Silver Surfer might be my favorite character. I'm going to follow that up with Thor, Black... I got a lot, man. This is a lot. Thor, Black Panther, Wolverine, Storm are always going to rank up there. If I go over to DC, honestly, Kara's one of my favorite characters. Kara, it's weird, man. Okay, I dig Wonder Woman, right? I think Wonder Woman is a badass. I'm totally down with Diana Themyscira in her power rankings, who she is. So I probably say also extend that to Nubia, because obviously Nubia is that Wonder Woman character, Nubian eyes, right? Which I love every bit of that. So I would throw Nubia out there. And here's the thing, man. I just got done reading. I was doing a Wonder Woman book, I do the audiobooks and all that, and Wonder Woman got a personality, man. No matter where we see Wonder Woman, she really doesn't have a lot of personality, right? Yeah, the Long Halloween was really good. Here's the thing, Bats is kind of a staple for me, even though he's never been my favorite character. And I'll be honest, I hated all the movies. The only Batman movies that I didn't like anything pre-Christian Bale, I don't even mess with. I'm being serious. If we talking about Batman movies, anything pre-Christian Bale, I don't mess with. I don't mess with none of that. Who was it? Michael Keaton. I don't mess with that. Who else did they have? Val Kilmer. I don't mess with none of that. Even Adam West. I don't mess with Adam West version. Batman for me started, at least on the big screen. Batman for me started with with my man Christian Bale. Yeah, George Clooney. I don't mess with George Clooney either. So I'm I believe that Christian Bale kind of brought out the first dark version of Bats, right? So that's hardcore right there. I enjoy Batman and all the animated stuff. I love I always want a Batman type on my team. It maybe not for actually making decisions about who we got to murk, but for a lot of the other stuff, they give a lot to Batman. He's like the ultimate brains and figuring stuff out. I admire that of his true strengths. So yeah, Batman Beyond was a really great series, and I'm not gonna lie, man. Even like when you go down the list of like the Batmanites, like all the people that came, Dick Grayson, what's his name, Jason Todd. Like I know sometimes it's weird, but I'm always compelled by the Jason Todd Absolute Batman series. To me, that I guess that is kind of my baseline Batman. So on the Absolute Batman, I feel like that was like the best core for him. And that's what I feel like. That was the best core of like Absolute Batman is to me like the truest version of Batman. I feel like a lot of those other series were goofy versions of Batman. So I'm high on Absolute Batman. And then, like I said, man, Jason Todd, on down the list, like Damian Wayne. I don't know why I like these dudes that are kind of jacked up or aggressive like that, but Damian Wayne. Yeah, Batman, like that Absolute Batman, it was a whole nother level. And that seemed more real, given his story, given his backstory, like not to take away his intelligence, but I feel him more, he feels more Punisher, but more balanced than Punisher. Like that's kind of how I see him, and I love that Punisher prototype. But everything that descends from Batman, like all the characters are pretty hardcore, and they kind of be right on that edge where it's like, man, Jason Todd, you tripping, but I understand how you coming at. Like Damian Wayne, I be understanding. Hey, have you checked out that new Punisher flick, man? That new Punisher flick is so damn good that it shocked me. There's so much action in it. At one point, the Punisher is killing somebody, and I start begging him to stop. I'm like, you got him already. It's when he got the dude down, the big muscle-bound dude with the tattoos, and he was stabbing him up like with a pen or something like that. I'm like, okay, dude, he had enough already, right? So yeah, that Punisher and that Ultimate Batman kind of, that's the mindset. I feel like that's more of a realistic. Yeah, that Punisher. I'm telling you guys. Here's the thing. So if you guys remember the Thomas Jan version of the Punisher with John Travolta as the villain, I love that. Like I love that. Thomas Jan's a great actor. This new interpretation is so good that it makes that one not even good to me anymore, and I may never even watch it again, which is crazy. Oh yeah. I watched it, man. I'm telling you, you're right, man. Punisher is so violent. It shocked me. Okay, I wasn't prepared for it. And here's the thing. Oh, man, why you bring up Daredevil, man? Yeah, they do forget about old school Daredevil. He was whooping people asses. Like he was handling out real justice. The Daredevil wasn't no joke. I kind of came in and out on the new Daredevil. Honestly, I haven't really gotten into it, and I haven't been necessarily into Daredevil in a while. And I don't know why. So I haven't watched the more recent TV show on Daredevil. So I might have to check it out. But because I saw he was in love with somebody, that redheaded girl. I remember her being in there. So I haven't checked it out. But I tell you what, I did just watch. That was pretty good. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of torn, but Gifted. If you guys have checked out like they did 2 series of Gifted. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Or did what else? What else was she in? She was in some other stuff. But Gifted is an X-Men kind of spinoff. I think it was done maybe it might have been like 2017 or something like that. So it's got a little bit of age on it, but I'd never seen it. So it's basically after the X-Men disappears. So it's kind of a like New Mutants kind of, it's all mutant underground. And you know what? I actually, man, where did I watch it at? I watched it on the Superbox. I don't know if it's on Disney. I don't know if it's on Disney right now. Probably. It's an older series, and I'm telling, because it was a Fox production. It was on Fox. So I know I watched it on Superbox because it's still available there. But it's Fox, so I don't know where else it's at. But I watched it on the bootleg. But it was a great series like that, and also the Titan series was excellent, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, and you get a version of Batman, like old Batman. Like we don't talk enough about old Batman, or should I say older Bruce. older Bruce, man, oh man. And it gives you a side of Bruce where you're like, man, that's kind of mad manipulative, Bruce. Like, man, why, there's some questions, but Bruce is hard. And then it forces him to take on some answers, to answer questions about like Jason Todd. They don't do Damian, but I feel like they kind of combine Jason and Damian kind of into one super rebellious kind of character. Yeah. But that's kind of where he's at with, like, so that whole series, you get a lot of Dick Grayson's obviously leader, so you get a heavy dose of him, and in Dick you get to see, in Dick Grayson you get to see the other side of Batman. He kind of highlights who Batman is, and they kind of reveal a lot of his flaws in relating to people, but at the same time Bruce is still trying to develop those things. He doesn't give up on even having those flaws, so it's definitely like an interesting take on Bats. But overall, and like I'm telling you, like another version, like what was the joint where they introduced Owlman? Was that Crisis on Two Earths? I think that might have been Crisis on Two Earths, right? Where Batman runs across, your rival, OG, the Owlman. And Owlman wasn't no joke, man. Owlman was all up in that, Owlman was always in that. And then even when, if you saw, what is it? Was it Flashpoint Paradox? Yeah, Owlman's off the hook. He did kill his parents. He got a whole different, darker story. But go back and watch it if you watch that Flashpoint Paradox, and then it's Thomas Wayne, right? And man, if you think Bruce is dark in his head, you haven't met Thomas Wayne, man. Thomas Wayne, I'm like, man, he was whooping the Flash's ass, like broke Flash's head. Like Thomas Wayne, yeah, that Reverse Flash, that whole thing was like, watch that. That's one of the absolutely kind of darkest DC joints that's out there, man. Like you get Thomas Wayne, who Flash has to figure out how to work with, and he's dark. Like the world is already jacked up, and it ain't really a lot of coming back. So, and that's kind of how he's operating in that world. So it's a whole different thing. Like I'm gonna watch one of them tonight. Like I'm hoping. I gotta find something to watch. I don't know what I'm gonna watch tonight, man. I honestly, I'm probably gonna try and watch that sci-fi flick, The Obsession, tonight, but I don't know. But I might go back and check out, that Flashpoint Paradox. That's an excellent look at, you get to see Bruce, and then you get to see Thomas, and then like obviously because of Flash's, time travel abilities, like that's going on, he is able to communicate with him. Like he sends a letter. Thomas sends a letter to Bruce, but he manifested kind of the same thing. So clearly they had a destiny on being this Bat family. But yeah, he definitely got into it. So there's a lot to Bruce if you really get into it, and his relationships. Like everybody around Bruce can whoop ass. Everybody that he knows, he don't mess with people that can't fight. That's the whole thing. Barbara got scraps. Catwoman got scraps. Baby Bats, all of them, like all of them got mad scraps. Like the Baby Bat, and the Baby Bat's probably one of my favorite. Damien's probably my favorite one, and that kid ain't no joke. But Flashpoint Paradox is probably one of the more dark ones. And what was the one, man, where Apocalypse had beat that ass, where Darkseid had beat that ass? Remember after they go, is it Apocalypse Dark? Is that what it is? I think it's Apocalypse Dark, man. And like, this is the only time we saw Batman get really hemmed up by Darkseid, and he got him like, you working down there. And it was all Superman's fault, by the way. I totally blame Kal-El for this one. Them running up on Darkseid. They went to Darkseid's world. Everybody. They came with everybody. Yeah, he gets blasted. Yeah, he gets jacked up, man. Like, and Damian gets killed. Like, I think Damian gets killed or he's burnt up. Does he live through that? Maybe he did. But like, Darkseid, yeah, saving Damian. That's right. He saves Damian. Because like, this is like Batman willpower. Because, Darkseid wasn't no joke, man. At all. And he had him completely hemmed up. And here's how we know how intelligent Batman is that Darkseid's using him to run his operation. So yeah, it's a lot going on with that one. Like that's a truly deep insight into Batman. And you know what, man? I'm gonna ditch this Wonder Woman book. Like I told you, man, I was reading Wonder Woman, what's it called? Warbringer. And man, I'm just like, man, Diane ain't got no personality, man. Just how she talks, she ain't got no personality. So I was doing this because I'm like, let me make sure my DC knowledge is really, really good. But I think I'm gonna switch up and look for more Batman oriented because the personality kind of gets into it. So, but I'm gonna dip out for a little bit, guys. I told you I just wanted to come back in and get this one on Supergirl in, and now I gotta go watch some more Batman stuff. Yeah, like some Wonder Woman, it's just like her powers are badass. I fully respect her fighting abilities, where she comes from, but her personality is just like, you're boring, man. Like all the movies were mad boring, man. So yeah, all right, man. Well, I'm gonna check you out again. Thanks for supporting the channel as always, man. I definitely appreciate it, and I'm gonna make sure I get some more good content going for you guys. I got the whole weekend ahead of me, man, so I'll be grinding it out, man. But all right, I'll holler at you soon, bro. Don't be a stranger, all right? Thanks, man. I definitely appreciate the love, man, for dang sure. Thank you so much. But I'll be back and I'll holler at you soon.